Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bright Founders Talk at Temy. Temy is an international software development company that designs, builds, and delivers software for sustainable businesses and promising startups. Welcome to our podcast, where we bring you the most inspiring stories of entrepreneurs and experts in the software development industry. And each week, we interview successful leaders who share their unique journeys and valuable insights. I'm your host, Barry, and we're lucky enough to be joined by an amazing guest today, Nir Shafrir, who is COO and partner at Percepto. Hello, Nir. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Hi, Barry. It's great to be here.
Pleasure's all ours. We're very grateful that you managed to take time out of your day to speak with us. So, people who don't know you, could you explain a little bit about yourself and the company that you work at?
Sure. So I'm Nir. I'm a proud father of two, and I'm COO and partner here at Percepto. Percepto is a digital communications agency and reputation management agency. We provide service to wide selection of clients from different industries, different countries. We work a lot in the UK and the US, and we do our best to give a lot of value to our clients, to become their partners and provide them with great service and great results.
Congratulations, you're a proud father. How do you balance that, being a COO and a partner of a company and being a father? Is it something easily done?
I think today with the hybrid, style of work, it's become a bit easier to be around. So I think if something good came out of Corona is that I'm able to be there a lot more with my kids and, find the right balance between work and the house. And I think there's different times. There are times when things are really hectic and then you have the less, mind and time to be with the family. But I think, for the most part, we do our best to try and find the right balance and spend time with the kids. I guess, it's fun. It's not just a chore. So I try to do it as much as I can.
And can you just share a little bit about your journey with us and kind of elucidate on how the company came into existence?
Sure. Yes. So actually, I'm not the original founder of the company. I joined the company back in 2011. The company was created in 2007 originally. And I started as a project manager right after university. And I kind of grew with the company over the years. I became COO a few years after I started here. And about 6.5 years ago, my partner and I did a management buyout and I kind of decided to take control over the company because the previous owner decided that it wasn't the right fit in their portfolio. It was a VC. And we saw this as an opportunity to do something that we love and a company that we really believe in, and just try to take it to new heights. And it's been an interesting and challenging road over the years. We've had, good times, we've had tough times, but I mean, it's amazing to see, what this company has become. And generally about the company originally started as a product company, also in the reputation field. It started out as a website that enabled executives to create a profile for themselves, kind of like LinkedIn, but without a lot of the social media aspects. But quickly it became a company that provides reputation management services to different companies, people usually who have some sort of either had a previous crisis that required them to start talking about what they do, to improve their messaging, to find the right voice and start having a better online image. And over the years, we've helped really quite a lot of companies from different industries, finance, energy, tech, startups, wide selection, also private clients. And in the last few years, we started realizing that, we do have a lot of different capabilities within the company, from content management to social media management. We build websites for our clients, design websites. So we started finding ways to expand our service offering, and we provide much more than just reputation management today, even though that is still our core service and I think what we're best known for in the industry. But yeah, it's been an interesting journey, and we're really excited to continue seeing the company evolve and develop.
It sounds like a really interesting journey that you've been on. It also sounds like you kind of maybe happenstance that you managed to get into this position. Like some people, when they're growing up, they always know that they want to be like a founder or they want to be a big CEO. Was
Yeah.
that your dream, or did you kind of just happen to fall into this role?
I don't think I imagined myself. I mean, here in Israel, we have a lot of startups, generally speaking. So I think we go through different phases here where we have a mandatory service, and a lot of the people get their entrepreneurship from there, and they get a lot of networking from that because you meet a lot of different people from different backgrounds, and they become your best friends. And I think that kind of encourages an entrepreneurial sort of you know way of living. And I did have meetings with friends, and we kept thinking of maybe ideas of creating a startup, but I never imagined becoming part owner in the agency that I'm working in. And that was just a chance we had a few years ago when we said, okay, this could be our opportunity to do something that's different, meaningful, something that we could help us grow as people, and also provide us with opportunities to succeed and do something that's interesting in ours. And I think that when the opportunity came, we didn't have like too many thoughts about it. We just knew we were going for it. It was kind of yeah.
And so you mentioned there about making friends and associates. Like, how important was networking at the start? And if it wasn't important, how important is it now, the ability to be able to network with other people?
I think it's, if I have to choose like the number one thing for an agency like ours, or maybe for pretty much every company today, I think networking would definitely be number one. I have to say that this is where my partner excels. He's the business developer. He's the one who goes out, and makes contact with a lot of different people from different industries. We have a wide partnership with a lot of different companies, from public relations firms, lawyers. This is a strong network that my partner has been able to build up, and it helps us get clients that we probably wouldn't have never gotten if we had just been based here in Tel Aviv, and haven't branched out and met people from different industries. So definitely, yeah.
You mentioned obviously like the role that you do. Do you have to do a lot of wearing of different hats basically? Do you have to do lots of different things? Are you constantly spinning those plates?
So I think it's one of the challenges of being an agency owner. Most of us have our day-to-day job. At the end of the day, I also manage clients. I manage a team of people here. We have content managers here. We have a PR person here. We have client managers, a studio where we design and do things for our clients. So I kind of need to juggle between being a manager of people, being having clients of my own to take care of and to make sure we advance and provide them with the service. And I also have to find ways to kind of pause and have meeting with my client, with my partner, and think about the future of the company, where we want to take it. And sometimes it's challenging to be able to step out of the day to day and find that time, but it's crucial. When we do it, it really feels like we're able to take the company forward. It's a challenge, but a challenge that I actually like. It's fun to be in different hats.
What kind of tech trends are currently catching your attention within the industry at the moment, and what are the driving factors behind their significance?
Okay. So I think obviously there's one that kind of outshines everything today, which is AI. Since ChatGPT came into place and became pretty much software that pretty much everybody uses, it's changing the industry for different perspectives and levels. So obviously the most like straightforward way is that people are actually creating a lot of content with AI today, which is good on the one hand, and also it has its issues on the other hand. Google, which is one of the main platforms we operate on and work on for our clients, has an issue with content that is AI generated. So I think it's about finding the right balance between using tools like ChatGPT to do ideation, to create processes, even templates for email outreach or just things like that, and maybe find ways to use it to create a layout for a text. But when you want to create a really good text for for a specific industry, for a specific client, you need to really dive into details, and you need to find the client's voice, which is very important, especially when we deal with private clients who are well known in their industry. And they need to be very, they have their expertise, and they have a very clear vision usually of what they want to sound like and what they want to look like. It's a balance between using these tools but not overusing them, or that's definitely one trend. And I also think that another thing we're looking at, a lot of our clients really care about how they look on Google today, obviously, today and in the last 20 years. But I think the future that's starting now actually is also about finding ways to impact what results tools like ChatGPT generate when you search a company, a brand, or an individual. We want to make sure that the right messaging is also appears there as well. So we need to find the ways, and that's something we already started doing, of making sure that what we create for our clients is also something that gets picked up by these AI tools and reflects when people search for a certain topic there as well. That's going to continue to grow in the next few years, obviously. If I had to choose another tech or something that's tools that are coming into use these days. So in the last few years, we do a lot of monitoring for our clients, online monitoring, and something that a lot of these companies are trying to achieve is good sentiment analysis. And that's been a challenge, I think, in the last few years, because all the tools we've seen were never really accurate. I mean, they never really understand if something is cynical or if it's authentic or not. And I think between fake and sentiment and different things like that, I mean, there's still a need for a human eye at this stage to kind of review everything and make sure that classifications are correct. And that's something that I expect to improve in the next few years as well. I think there will always be a need for, or not always, at least in the next few years, there will still be a need for a human eye to review everything, but I expect it to get better. So I would choose that as another.
So it sounds like there are lots of challenges, and you mentioned challenge quite a few times on this podcast. What's been the biggest challenge to date for you, and how did you overcome it?
So I think for us as an agency, our main challenge is to be able to get clients from other places in the world, because we are, as I said, we do have a strong network, and actually I think probably 70% of our income is not from Israel, which is pretty much where we want to be. But I think especially in the US, there's still, it's a tough match for an agency to be able to compete with local providers who are there physically. Even though today, it's easy to communicate, via Zoom and other tools, but still, there is an American company would usually first go to an American company to find a solution. And for us, building the network we've started doing in the last few years and continuing to expand it, it's been our main challenge, but also our main growth, our tool for growth. So it's something we're continuing to focus on and doing our best there, efforts to improve.
How do you navigate and overcome those challenges, mentally? What kind of skills do you have that help you navigate those tough times?
Okay, so I think first of all, we have each other here. The fact that I have a partner here at this company, I think it makes life much easier, because if somebody has a day when he's a bit down and he needs to get picked up, he has somebody there to do it, to help him with that. And I think it's when you are an owner of a company and you're alone, it takes, kind of a toll. Plus, I have to say that we have quite an amazing team here that we've built over the last few years. Everybody who's here are people that are with us for quite a while, and they're all experts, and they have a lot of great experience, and we fully trust them, to provide good, service. And we've been through challenging times, obviously, and I think people are the way to overcome those challenges. That and yeah, and I think, like we said at the beginning, finding a good balance between home and work, that's also an important factor, because in order to, if you're 100% in work all the time, it's hard to sometimes step back and kind of reflect on things. And I think keeping that balance also helps put things in perspective and be able to also find the way to battle those challenges and overcome them. So yeah.
Perfect. And can you just outline your primary focal points or like ongoing projects or endeavors at the moment?
Okay. So with a lot of our clients, we have a confidentiality agreement, so we can't really talk about who they are. It really, really varies. We work with, starting with high net worth individuals, where sometimes we communicate directly with them. And sometimes it can be with their assistants, or with, if it's a company, it can be their communications marketing officials. So in terms of focal points, we have a lot of different focal points. Each client is a new world we need to learn. They all have their industry specifics that we need to study and understand to be able to even provide them with a good enough service. And we want to be able to become our clients' partners, for real. We want to be there for them, and we want them to be able to talk to us, not just about what they came for, but also if they have their worries, if they're thinking of expanding or doing something new, we want to be able to provide them with our insights, at least, what we know, or what we expect to happen. And yeah, we work with different vectors. We work with the financial sector. We helped startups do very interesting things, like, get the right messaging to the right stakeholders, which can be investors, can be potential employees, it can be clients. And the fact that we work with different tools, starting from their website, or maybe even a thematic website that we build for them around a specific topic and promote that. We use social media tools and advertising. So we kind of find whatever works for our client and help them leverage that to as best as we can. I think that kind of answers that. I think
Encapsulates.
Yeah,
it's a great answer, perfectly. You answered the question very succinctly. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So yours is an industry that's rapidly changing. Yeah. How do you keep up to date with the latest developments?
I think it's all about learning all the time. I myself, and I think pretty much everybody here, is always, we have our subscriptions to newsletters from industry leading papers, and we do a lot of internal sharing of knowledge and know-how. We have a weekly meeting for the team where we all share our experiences, what we've been doing, successes we've had, or things where we failed, or if we tried something new and we want to see if it works well or not. I think that's the only way to kind of keep up with things. Things are changing rapidly, and if you don't try new things and keep up with advancements, then you're gonna fall behind. So yeah.
So we talked a little bit about the past and the present here. Now, what about the future? Like, what does the future of the techscape look like? And if you get your crystal ball out, do you see plain sailing ahead, or do you see turbulent waters?
That's an interesting question. So first of all, I think if I think about the future, I think it's about, there are things that are classic and will always be there. I think for a brand and even a person, having clear strategy and vision about how they want to position themselves, what are their key messages, who are their stakeholders. I think once you have that in order, then everything else is much easier, because there are always tools you can use to get to what you need. And I mean, there are new platforms that come along. TikTok is the latest, you know, thing that's been really like booming. We're not experts on TikTok, but I mean, it's there, and a lot of, I guess, consumer clients need that. But I think in general, I can talk about like startup industry where getting investments has become much harder, especially here in Israel, but not just here. So I think tech companies need to always think about how they improve their product and how they work on their marketing as well. Because at the beginning, a startup, focuses solely on the product, and that's good because that's what they need to be doing. But at some point, they need to start thinking about this additional things, how to position themselves, how to market themselves, again, who the right audiences are, and what message you want to get to that audience, because each audience needs a different type of message. I mean, I think the last few years have been challenging for different reasons for a lot of companies in general, and I think it's not going to change because we're seeing that a lot of things are happening around the world, here in Israel, as you obviously know as well. And I think we all hope for the best, but it's not necessarily going to be easy. So I think, find the right people, do your core things well, find the right suppliers to help you with additional things that you're not necessarily an expert in, and always challenge yourself to think, to see if you're doing things the right way. If you need to shake things up, if you need to try something new, I think that's part of having a business and running it well.
Lovely. Thank you for sharing that with us.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, we are kind of coming towards the end of the interview now. But my final question, as I always like to ask, is what advice would you give to an up-and-coming entrepreneur, someone who may be having some doubts about their ability, or maybe, like you said, just finding it hard to get investment? What kind of advice would you give to them?
So first of all, I think for any entrepreneur, if you're going down that path, you need to realize that there are going to be good times, there are going to be bad times. You need to be there for the long term if you really want to do it. And I think the main thing is to find the right people to surround yourself with, because those people, like I said, are the ones who are going to pick you up when times get tough. Also help you, come with new ideas, because everybody has a different view of things, and different opinions are crucial to be able to become better, and learn new things and try new things. And I think that's crucial for any business. So I would say that find the right people to surround yourself with and go with them and give it all your best.
So lovely advice. You heard it here first. Get that networking. Yeah, that's all about the networking. So
Definitely.
Nir, I want to thank you again so much for taking the time to talk with us today. It's been an absolute pleasure.
For me as well. Thank you, Barry. It's great.
You're very kind. That was Nir Shafrir, COO and partner at Percepto.